Well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for our preview of what we saw earlier. Now in the past, this is a look right now at our radar. Of course, we've been watching these past storms, seeing what they have been looking like, and now kind of getting a feel of hey, it's gone, it's out of the area. What's now to expect? Now here's a live look right now. Of course, this was early this morning about 10:30. Of course, you could see those stronger bands across Whitmire and Carlisle. Of course, stronger even parts of I-26 that's eastbound in Newberry. That was pretty strong system, right? We've been watching that now. Models now showing that we're pretty much dry, right? Staying dry over the next several hours, of course. We're going to be seeing those coastally storms moving out of our area. Hey, maybe presenting a possible pop up shower if that, of course, near Georgia, of course, that in kind of a 3D look. It's kind of hard to tell with our 3D look in this model, but that, of course, is um, down towards Statesboro and Millen, Wrightsville, of course, we're dry. So that's a nice touch. When we come back, we'll have the full complete forecast and radar what you need to know for the next several hours. We'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back. Now, continuing, like we said, to watch what we're looking at over the next several hours. We're going to be drying out. Of course, we're dry now, continuing to dry out. We maybe have a lingering pop up, maybe even just a potential little burst of small showers. Of course, that's near, of course, Parker Field, of course, that area. But here's a kind of a look at what we see now. You can see this kind of crosshair in the middle of your screen. And you're like, what does that crosshair mean? Well, we zoom over some of these storms. 20 decibels is what it's reading out. 21. That's a pop up pocket of rain. Of course, not anything major to that. But earlier, of course, now if we're going to zoom into something that's worth something, of course, um, zooming in, of course, just around the world or around the world, of course, seeing, hey, what they're seeing just to kind of show you what is the perspective for all of these different things. Now, parts of the area or parts of the United States are under a special weather statement, of course. Um, we're continuing to watch that, make sure it's not getting any close to home, which is nice. But, of course, if we were to, for example, try and find a place that is having somewhat of bad weather right now. Now, there is a over the coast, there is a 56. Now, the higher decibels we read, of course, the higher the weather is, the more severity it is. Right. So, what does that mean for here at home? Well, as you can see, this is a 54, and the outer bands is like a 20, maybe even an 18. Well, that's what we were seeing at home, right? Our areas, Doppler radars picking up on maybe just a hair. So, is that still saying that hey, we could see some more a little pocket of rain, maybe, but that's not to be expected. Down towards more of our coastal areas, of course, maybe developing a pop-up shower or two. That is bringing up a little higher, of course, on our meter of that, and of course, 31 in marine. That one was earlier. So, of course, we'll have the 4-day plus and more coming up. Still continuing to follow breaking news here into our newsroom after you may have seen this earlier today. Now, we have been seeing, we have not seen it here, but there have been multiple reports of these suspicious circular clouds across the upstate and still wondering what and how it could have got there. local experts saying that they are still wondering how and why. Of course, we've seen multiple reports from around the area, including areas. Of course, we've seen some reports from the Greenville County and all over the upstate seeing these mysterious circles, even on Lake Hartwell. And of course, when we come back, we'll have the latest on our 4 day plus more breaking news that matters to you on the two. We'll be right back. Okay, yes. Yeah. Well, it has to be an airplane. But... Okay, so let's see.
Do you want vegetable first?
Uh, what's that doing? Well, continuing, of course, our coverage as our Impact Day. We have an Impact Day, I will say, until tomorrow, which we're still continuing to follow that, of course. Not looks like to be all day, which is kind of plus. We may can drop the Impact Day before lunch, which may be a possibility, but of course we'll keep you up to date as on that. Of course, if and when we need to do that, we will let you know. But of course, what to expect? Well, this is a live look right now at I-85 southbound at mile marker 59.5, and let's just say that it is backed up. I feel like we see that a lot, a lot. Like every time this afternoon, I-85 is always backed up. So, all right, will we see it backed up again? Get better. We hope. You know, we really are hoping. We're gonna see if it gets unclogged. Now, we're going to remind you that you can watch the Olympics. Maybe you've been watching the Olympics. Tomorrow is the last day for the Olympics, I believe, Saturday the 21st. But you can watch right on our home NBC station. That's WYFF News 4. Of course, that's where you can get all the latest on news and weather. But if you want independent news and weather, we got your or your one shot stop shop. I think that's how you say it for our area. Of course, We are providing the area's independent forecast that matters to you. Of course, we want to keep you at the forefront of all the local breaking news that we can give from an independent standpoint. Well, let's take a look right now at our 4-day plus as it's Friday, trying to get home. I know the camera does not look that good of quality. Of course, we're gonna see if we can get it any better for you. But let's just kind of take a look right now, okay? I know it's that time of day. You're trying to go home. And it does not help if you are behind a slow driver or just whatever the case may be. Here's a closer look at that 4-day plus over the next several hours. Of course, our hourly forecast over the next several hours. We're gonna feel about this upper 60s, getting down to the low 60s by um midnight. 1, 2, 3 a.m. getting down to the upper 50s, and then gonna feel waking up tomorrow morning with a shower, possible 50% chance. Or we're riding. I would go ahead and say we're riding a 20% chance of rain from 1 a.m. till about 7 a.m. 8 a.m. we're back, or we're up to 50% chance. That is our impact hour time frame. Then we're back down 20% till about noon of tomorrow, of course. Then tomorrow we're gonna feel about the upper 60s, which would be nice, kind of a copy of today. Um, same concept. Then by about tomorrow night, you're getting ready for bed. 9, 10 o'clock, we're gonna get back to the upper 50s. So that's kind of a nice gesture. But other than that, of course, let's take you to our hourly or our daily forecast, our 4-day plus, because hopefully we're gonna get better on. Maybe we're gonna get better. Maybe we're gonna have a warm week. We kind of need some rain for those gardens. So maybe, just maybe, we can get some rain here or there. Of course, we will. Of course, if we do get some rain, of course, we'll keep you the forefront of all of our local news and weather. Of course, seeing if we can get, okay, maybe. Okay, here we go. Here's a look right now at our hourly or our next few hours, or excuse me, next few days forecast. We're gonna see about today is more that impact day. Of course, we discussed that earlier. Tomorrow, I would expect to be about a high of 65, maybe getting him to 70, possibly low 70s, if that. Sunday, Monday, we're gonna feel about the 50s, getting down to 40s by Monday, Thursday, or Monday, Tuesday, excuse me. Wednesday is back up to the 60s. We have an impact day again on Thursday. That is to be expected. And the reason we have that is, of course, because we don't have a um actually, we're just gonna put this in place. I know this is the wrong thing, but all we have right now for to show you guys is a alert. Or well, we're just gonna leave it as that. Okay, I don't know why it's not letting you see the rest of it. Of course, next week, of course, we have that Impact Day Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Gonna feel about the 60s. Next Sunday gonna feel about the 68. Still feeling about nice for the rest of the week. We want to thank you for watching WFIN News 2 as we continue to give you this the updates and news and weather you count on from an independent standpoint. Of course, you can check out all our news and weather on our mobile app, or you can even check us out on YouTube where we have the full list of all news and weather, of course, that we update hourly and give you the forefront of live local independent news that matters to you. Thanks for watching. And of course, make sure you do all those things. Make sure you enable those notifications for our YouTube channel so you can get the forefront of live local independent news. Good afternoon.